Tennessee four-term congresswoman who now serves as a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserve and is the author of For Love of Country, Leave the Democrat Party Behind. Tulsi Gabbard, great to have you back. I'm dying to know your feeling about last night because you ran for president as a Democrat last time. You feel you got smeared, which you have a case for. And so I'm just dying to know your feelings, like your real feelings about this. But let's just start with this. What should they do? Replace Biden or not? Yes or no? What's your take on this?
I think it doesn't make a difference, quite frankly. If you look at Joe Biden's policies and you look at the prospect of any one of the number of people who could replace him, should he decide to walk away, and I agree with Chris, it is his decision. Ultimately, all of these different policies that have been destructive to our country will continue. So all this attention that's focused around, okay, well, should he stay, should he go, to me, frankly, deflects away from the substantive, policy-centered conversation we should be having as a country as people look at this choice they have to make.
Trump, they said, won 67 to 33. 33, that number rings in my mind because you know what that number is? That's the number you always see, very close, 33, 34, 32, of the people who are just always with their party. A third of the Democrats who are like, they're going to stick with this guy and they are going to regret it. He is going to lose. I said it 9 months ago. I'm saying it again tonight. And now it seems like it's so apparent. Now, I don't want to show a lot of the tape from last night because it's too hard to look at. But just show this one thing. We picked out one thing. For people who don't watch, and they watch this show to catch up on the news, this is what the Republicans are going to show from now until Election Day.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
It reminded me of when Mike Tyson used to knock guys out in 90 seconds. Like, that was like 2 minutes into the debate, and I went, oh, this election is over. I mean, that was like a haymaker right away.
Look, I'm watching the guy. He is so fast on the trigger. I watched him. He comes up with, well, he pulled out of Afghanistan in a disastrous way. That's true. He didn't fire anybody. He didn't fire Jake Tapper or any of the generals. That's all true. Then he'll throw in, oh, by the way, illegal people can get Medicare and Social Security. No, they can't. He just throws in the lies. He mixes up the lies with some truth.
Yeah,
And Obama, I'm sorry, Biden is not smart enough to keep up with him. He just can't keep up with him.
Well, isn't that the whole point?
Yeah.
You need a guy to keep up with them. I mean, I feel like the whole rationale for Biden running has always been, I'm the only guy who can beat him.
Yeah.
Now I think it's inverted. I think he's the only guy who could lose to him.
I think that there are very serious issues that a lot of these swing voters who are still undecided are considering as they look at the Biden administration's policies and the policies that will continue, whether it's Joe Biden or someone else replaces him, whether it's issues like border security or the insanity around the destruction of Title IX and the rejection of, you know, a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl. They're looking at safety in their communities, education system, the economy. Obviously, there are so many different issues that people are considering. But I want to point to, I think, the most important one that came through in the debate last night was when Joe Biden said, quote, the only existential threat to humanity is climate change. The fact that he said this, the only existential threat to humanity is climate change, completely dismisses the fact that this is a guy who has the nuclear codes and yet is not present enough and is actually insane and so far out of touch with reality that he doesn't recognize that the true existential threat to humanity, to our country, to the world, is the fact that we are closer to nuclear holocaust now than we ever have been before in history.
Well, sure.